The girl hugged the big gray wolf, rubbing and sniffing it wildly, unaware that it was actually a grown man. The most ferocious war god of the Star Empire was being played with like a dog by the girl. Even though his face was burning with embarrassment, he could only helplessly use his tail to cover his private parts. All because this was a beast world where females ruled supreme, making females here extremely rare, with a staggering ratio of 8,000 to 1. But in reality, the status of females was exceptionally high. Once a female appeared, she would inevitably be followed by several males for protection. The government also encouraged polyandry. A female could have one main husband and an unlimited number of secondary husbands. Once a male had a female wife master, he had to treat her words as the highest command, second only to the government and the nation. Even if the wife master was hot-tempered, he had to endure her beatings and scoldings. The beastmen males desperately craved females and actively learned how to pursue and serve them. Females were like divine saviors in their eyes. But even with all their efforts, most ordinary males would never get the chance to interact with a female in their lifetime. Adult males without a female wife master, once their heat level exceeded 90%, were highly likely to be consumed by beastly instincts and lose control, dying early in a frenzied state. Suddenly, a mechanical voice sounded in the room. Master T518 has detected that you are currently in heat. Shall I assist you in entering absolute restraint mode? Subsequently, T518 received the authorization order. In an instant, countless military-grade folding steel plates within the room sealed the walls layer by layer. Ming Cang, a listless adult male without a female mate, would, once his rut value exceeded 90%, most likely lose control and revert to a feral state. By then, his temperament would become violent and dangerous. And as an ranked male, his feral rampage would spell catastrophic disaster for the imperial capital. At that moment, a series of thud-thud-thud noises came from the room. He leaned back, narrowing his eyes to trace the source of the sound in the study. It was a black and gold chest over a meter long. This object had been found a few days prior. When the army scanned a trash planet, it had remained inopenable, and fearing it might contain something hazardous, they temporarily stored it with him. The chest continued to shudder under the impacts. Suddenly, the lid burst open, and a slender, pale hand reached out, causing the already alert Ming Cang to freeze. Watching the frail girl sit up inside the chest, he stared wide-eyed in shock, forgetting to breathe for a moment. Female, such a beautiful female. The girl staggered to her feet, revealing her full form under Ming Cang's gaze. Such an exquisitely stunning girl could not be matched, even by the top-tier females raised among the royal nobility. She stepped out of the chest, curiously surveying her surroundings, before finally fixing her eyes on him and speaking in a soft, sweet voice. "Hello, my name is Sunai. May I ask where this is? Are you being held captive?" This voice is too soft and delicate. Ming Cang felt a sudden buzzing in his head. Every muscle in his body tensed up in an instant. Suddenly, the StarNet system on his wrist began blaring alarms incessantly. His rut level instantly spiked 87%. His breathing grew increasingly ragged. He had to suppress himself so hard that his eyes turned red, just to keep his beast form at bay. Gritting his teeth, he said, "How are you here? Hide, quickly." Females are extremely fragile. Their physical strength is usually less than 5% of an average male's. They require meticulous care to survive. He knew very well that the handcuff on his right wrist couldn't restrain him. But under the room's absolute confinement mode, there was no way he could leave this place. At any moment, he might harm this precious female. Sunai curiously twitched her nose. As a top-tier alpha, she seemed to catch a scent similar to pheromones. Sunai approached him. Then she picked up a syringe from the ground and sniffed it. The residual chemical smell on it was quite different from the inhibitors in her world. The medicinal scent seemed much stronger. The dosage didn't seem meant for a normal person. More like something for an extremely aggressive, large beast. Just as she was pondering this, a pair of silver-gray wolf ears on Ming Cang's head defiantly popped out. A thick, furry tail behind him stretched out on the sofa as well. Unlike its owner's evasive state, it was eagerly trying to show its happiness to the female in front of it. Sunai's eyes lit up. It seemed she had indeed traveled to the beastkin world. The teleportation device invented by the Research Institute was kind of interesting. At this moment, Sunai curiously reached out and touched his ears. He's so cute. Where did he pop out from? All beastkin disliked anything that represented their beast forms, especially females. Yet she wasn't disgusted and even called his wolf ears cute while touching them. Ming Cang tried hard to detect any teasing or mockery on her face, but a certain possessiveness roared wildly inside him, making it impossible for him to focus on anything else. His body instinctively wanted to get closer to her, yet reason stopped his dangerous thoughts. "Stay away from me, might hurt you." Sunai leaned closer to his neck. According to the information she received before coming here, this was a heterosexual world, so there was a high chance same-sex partners didn't exist. And she didn't smell any female scent on this man, meaning this handsome beastkin male was probably single and had a very clean private life. During missions in her own world, she had seen teammates go into heat multiple times without suppressants. In those cases, another teammate would help them resolve it. Going into heat was an extremely dangerous thing. Pheromones will attract enemies. Although she had never tried helping in this way before, she didn't mind showing kindness and giving him a hand, while also taking the chance to study his body structure, to see if it had any connection to his lifespan. Watching Ming Cang stiffen completely as she approached, Sunai curled her lips into a harmless smile and gently placed her hand on him, softly saying, "Dear beastman, sir, do you need my help?" Ming Cang realized where her hand was resting and stared at her in shock. He let out a muffled groan, unable to believe this young female before him was doing something so wild with such an innocent expression. His prideful self-control crumbled bit by bit under her touch. Normally, females were terrified and repulsed by males in heat, yet this noble, unfamiliar female not only showed no fear of him, but even made intimate contact. Soon, reason was drowned out. He had no experience in this regard, and could only remain in this half-human, half-beast state, letting her take control. This loss of self-restraint nearly drove him mad. Sunai's scent seemed to have a calming effect on males. Miraculously, his mind cleared under her touch. At that moment, he wished he could shoot himself. Then Sunai's innocent face leaned closer to him. "Beastman, sir, I'm hungry. Do you have any food here?" Ming Cang's still racing heartbeat stuttered as their eyes met. Once again, he slammed into it hard. He got up, took the keys from the drawer, and unlocked the iron bracelet. Just as Sunai was wondering if he had gone too far, he came back from the kitchen, handed her something. Sunai took it and examined it. They were a few unfamiliar-looking nutrient packs, opened one and tentatively licked a bit, to make it easier for her to carry out her work in this world. Before crossing over, the Science Institute had installed a micro-ingredient detector system on her tongue and a spatial system on her wrist. Suddenly, a cold, system-like male voice audible only to her rang in her mind. "Scan complete. Current liquid composition shows high nutritional value. Meets human dietary requirements, non-toxic. Toxicity filtration function deactivated. Safe for consumption, no longevity effects." Then she drank it, filling and satisfying. Like a fruity drink, first bitter, then sweet. But for someone used to real food, just drinking water still feels like something's missing. After feeling full, Sunai tiredly rubbed her eyes. Perhaps she wasn't acclimated to this world's environment. Or maybe she had stayed in the teleportation device for too long. Her body was in a very weak state. After the recent labor, she had no energy left to spare. Based on initial judgment, This ORC gentleman meant her no harm. So she flopped limply onto the sofa and fell asleep within 2 seconds. Her breathing gradually steadied. Ming Cang looked at her with mixed feelings. She seemed somewhat special. Ming Cang was never one to overthink things. He figured if she did that kind of thing to him, she must like him too. When the time is right, he'll ask if she's willing to be his wife. Males are naturally meant to care for females. He just couldn't quite wrap his head around it. Such a delicate female. How could anyone bear to stuff her into a box and throw her into a trash bin? What kind of cruel past had she endured? He carefully picked Sunai up. Noticing her weight was unusually light in his hands, he couldn't help but move even more gently. Then he instructed T518 to adjust to comfort mode. Sunai slept relatively soundly this time. She pushed the blanket aside and got out of bed, only to find the room empty and devoid of people. The dining table was lined with an assortment of flavored nutrient solutions, along with a few neatly folded new dresses, and a note. "Hello, I'm Ming Cang. Yesterday you saw me. I went out to take care of some things. If you need anything, you can call for the robot in room T518. You have my StarNet rehabilitation device on your wrist. You can buy anything you need on it. Please try not to go out." The characters on it don't seem too different from the ones in her world. At least she won't be illiterate. Sunai's gaze lingered on the words, "You saw me yesterday," with a faint, ambiguous smile. Placed near the StarNet, Sunai raised her hand. Sure enough, she saw something resembling a watch on her right wrist. After fiddling with it, she realized this thing called the StarNet. Its functions are almost the same as a phone. It has Ming Cang's contact info inside. You can browse the web and shop. She opened the StarNet bank. The long string of numbers inside made her count twice. So rich, surely not all his assets are here. But right now, I'm not interested in shopping. Sunai looked it up online. Information about this world. Then without hesitation, she opened the door and left. As for Ming Cang's warning not to go out, she came here precisely to investigate this world. How could she explore without stepping out? Closing the browsing interface, Sunai's gaze landed on a tracking screen in the Starbrain. The screen clearly displayed her exact location, and it was linked to another device. She scoffed, notifying the central system within her. "Zhao Lan, help me block this Starbrain's tracking system." A cool male voice replied, "Understood. Searching for potential tracking systems. Interference successful. Tracking has been blocked." A few minutes later, a child with a hat covering most of their face walked down the street. Considering Beastman's keen sense of smell, she deliberately concealed her scent. Though her world had barely managed to detect the Beastman's world before, she didn't know much about it. Fortunately, she adapted to new things very well. Earlier, through the Starbrain, she had mostly pieced together this world. Turns out, women here, or rather, females, were extremely rare. The male-to-female ratio had reached 9-to-1. You could hardly spot a female on the streets. But in reality, females held exceptionally high status. The moment one appeared, they were inevitably surrounded by several males are guarding here. Regardless of the reason, harming females is illegal. Will face very serious legal consequences. Females hold the majority of legal authority. The government encourages polyandry. A female can have one husband and an unlimited number of side husbands. Once a male has a female wife, he must regard her words as the highest command, second only to the government and the state. Even if the wife has a bad temper, he must endure her scolding and beatings without complaint. Due to the gender imbalance, male beastmen are extremely eager for females and actively learn how to pursue and serve them. In their eyes, females are like divine beings who can redeem them. But no matter how hard they try, most ordinary males still never get the chance to interact with one in their lifetime. Females have a high likelihood of dying during their mating cycle. Regarding the mating cycle, Sunai also did some research. Females mature at 15 and enter irregular mating cycles afterward. Males reach adulthood at the age of 17 and experience their first head on that day, then go into heat every 3 months thereafter. If there is female induction or external stimuli, the mating state will become more frequent. Males in heat will suffer greatly and be highly unstable. Thus, many suppressants have been introduced to the market. Most males rely on suppressants to survive. This is clearly not a long-term solution. The effectiveness of suppressants is limited. Prolonged use leads to drug resistance, resulting in sudden outbursts like Ming Cang's yesterday, which spiraled out of control. Sunai is located in the imperial capital of Central Star, the most prosperous place in the entire galaxy. But the more prosperous a place is, the more unregulated and obscure establishments exist beyond the reach of law enforcement, such as a place called the underground trading city of Sendi. Sunai hadn't taken 2 steps inside when a dark figure suddenly darted past her from behind, carrying an overwhelming stench of blood, followed closely by several burly men wielding guns, who aggressively shoved Sunai aside, cursing under their breath. "Move, you runt. Don't block the way." Beastmen males respect strength. As for Sunai, a short-statured male, they naturally looked down on him. Sunai rubbed his arm where they'd bumped into him, his eyes narrowing beneath the brim of his hat. Outside the alley, short male suddenly blocked the deserted path. A deliberately lowered voice coldly emerged from under the hat. "You just hurt me. Apologize." The beastmen, fresh from violence, exchanged glances before bursting into mocking laughter. One of them stepped forward, trying to grab Sunai by the collar. "Where'd the squeaker come from? Still wet behind the ears and already picking fights? Did your damn bear of a father not teach you not to throw your life away?" Sunai suddenly seized the arm 3 times thicker than his own. As everyone stared dumbfounded at that hand, immense force erupted from those slender fingers. A sickening crack, bone shattered. 2 seconds later, the man's agonized scream tore through the air. Then that porcelain white hand gripped his collar and swung him in a graceful arc, before slamming him brutally into the ground. Sunai gazed with disdain at these hulking fools, still processing what happened. "Since I already told you to apologize, you're just asking for trouble," Chong Huo said coldly. Gunfire erupted chaotically in the alleyway before quickly dying down. They couldn't figure it out even in death. Where did this short, scrawny male get such terrifying combat skills? Then she walked toward the dying Black Panther. Crouching down, she tilted her head and examined him from head to toe. "So this is a fully manifested beast form? Looks way bigger than an ordinary panther." Shiel's beast pupils contracted. He couldn't understand why a noble female would appear alone in a place like this. Didn't she have any males protecting her? Just then, the female stroked his fur. With a friendly smile, she said, "You're very lucky. You've met a good person who cares about animals." As she spoke, Sunai flicked her wrist, and a life saving from the system space appeared in her palm. After feeding the Black Panther, Sunai, realized she couldn't find her way back. Sunai, as a top-tier alpha, had undergone professional training and possessed countless skills, making her combat prowess formidable. But she just happened to be terrible with directions. Even though the Science Institute had equipped her space with medicine and advanced weapons, they simply couldn't provide her with a navigation map of this world. After some hesitation, she had no choice but to instruct the system, Zhao Lan, to cancel the... A cool male voice responded, "Interference signal has been cancelled. Detected that your current location is highly dangerous. Please remain vigilant." Sunai sighed and sat down next to the Black Panther, waiting pitifully and helplessly for someone to pick her up. In the highest level office of the Imperial Military Headquarters, a deputy general held a report and delivered it with utmost seriousness. "Marshal, based on the photo you provided, the matched all registered females in the database, but yielded no results. She is a female without. We couldn't trace her origins or rank." The photo in the report was none other than Sunai. Ming Cang wasn't surprised by this outcome. But his tone grew heavier as he said, "Investigate those forces illegally trading and keeping females." The thought that Sunai might be a female raised by gray market forces made his expression turn even colder and sterner. For the first time in his life, he felt an intense sense of and a protective urge toward a female. At that moment, the light brain beeped. It showed the location of his light brain accessory. The accessory indicated Sunai had left his residence. She appeared at the Sendi underground trading city. Ming Cang abruptly stood up. That was the largest, filthiest, and most brutal district in the imperial capital. Why was she there? Why had the light brain only alerted him now? Had she been kidnapped? A beautiful and innocent female like Sunai appearing there. He didn't even dare to imagine what might happen. Gather everyone and head to Sendi underground trading city. Within just over 10 minutes, the imperial capital's military surrounded Sendi trading city layer by layer. Every single person lurking there was ruthless, yet none had ever seen such a scene. This place had always been lawless. Suddenly being encircled by tens of thousands of guns and cannons, who wouldn't be terrified and stunned? Then, Ming Cang swiftly followed the tracking signal into the trading hall. When he was just one turn away from the marker, he saw several burly armed men lying dead on the ground. Their necks snapped, lifeless. His steps slowed as an uncontrollable dread surged within him. Fear that Sunai might meet the same fate as these men. But the moment he saw Sunai, his heart nearly stopped. The petite figure sat calmly in a pool of blood. Beside her lay a beastified leopard. That leopard must have harmed her. Enraged by the sight, Ming Cang immediately prepared to execute the leopard. So this was the interstellar world. Females are always portrayed as weak and innocent. No one would believe a delicate female has the ability to fight. Nor would anyone think a female harbors ill intentions. They should be protected, not sitting in a pool of blood like this. Harming a female is an unforgivable crime, especially when she's the only female who ever stirred his heart. Just then, Sunai seemed to notice him. Panicking at the sight of his gun, she shielded the leopard. "Don't hurt him, he's pitiful." Ming Cang paused and holstered his gun, quickly checking her over. Still uneasy, he asked sternly, "Why did you come out here? Are you hurt?" Sunai shook her head and replied timidly, "I was too bored in the house." Ming Cang sighed in relief, guessing the burly men outside. It was this leopard who did it. And Sunai somehow ended up here by mistake. He took off his coat, wrapped it around her, and scooped her up in his arms. "Sorry, I didn't think it through properly. I'll take you back first." Sunai looked back reluctantly. "The Black Panther is so pitiful. Can you save him?" "Alright, I'll have Samia take him to the hospital." The noise outside the alley grew louder. Ming Cang pressed Sunai's hat down further. Cover up her breathtaking beauty, to prevent her from being exposed to danger. The army retreated. However, the people in the trading city did not make way. A man with a refined and handsome appearance blocked his path. "Risen, the king of this trading city." He glanced casually at Ming Cang. The military commander remained silent. "Crossed into my turf. And you're leaving so easily again. That's not very righteous. Don't let me get in the way of Yoan, that precious lady in your arms. Say hello." Moreover, Risen is just like Ming Cang. It's level danger. Holding Sunai in his arms, Ming Cang didn't want to stir up trouble. "There's a reason for it. After I return, I will have Sumiona deliver a sincere apology gift. I owe you one." However, Risen didn't seem intent in making things difficult for him. It's easy to gain the favor of the military commander. "I got the better end of the deal. Take care." Ming Cang frowned tightly. Experience told him that Risen wouldn't give in so easily. But at this very moment, he must first take Sunai away from this place of trouble. Sure enough, just as Ming Cang passed by him, Risen suddenly reached out and knocked off the hat of the person in Ming Cang's arms. A face so fair, it seemed to glow with purity, was revealed. The surroundings were instantly filled with countless sobs. "Female, she's so beautiful. What level of bitch is she?" Is this some princess from the imperial palace? No wonder the general made such a grand display. A female like this ended up here. If it were me, in a hurry too. Caught off guard by the sudden eye contact with Sunai, Rizen's breathing faltered for a moment. He stared blankly at those lively black eyes. After a brief moment, he quickly snapped back to reality and gave a slight bow. Forgive my boldness, but may I ask the name of this esteemed lady? The person in my arms spoke, Sunai. The next second, Sunai's face was blocked by a large hand. Ming Cang's suppressed anger was already on the verge of turning into aggression. Rizen, you've gone too far. Rizen gave him a sidelong glance, lazily raising both hands in surrender. Watching the person being carried away by Ming Cang. See you soon, Sunai. My prey, little female. He wants to get his hands on all the good stuff in the galaxy. What's more, such an exceptional female. Ming Cang can't hold the fort alone. Rizen didn't notice. Sunai also took advantage of the moment when Ming Cang carried her away. Turned back to give him a once-over. Ming Cang's residence. After the imperial top-tier Dr. Late finished examining Sunai's body, his murky, aged eyes revealed a smile. Rest assured, Commander. This female didn't get hurt at all. On the contrary, her body is healthier than many females. Now need to stand register her level. Ming Cang's expression relaxed a little. Speaking gently to Sunai, how is sitting obediently on the sofa. Don't be nervous. Dr. Late has treated many females in the imperial capital. All levels have been tested. After obtaining the level certification, you can now apply for Thief Male's interstellar identity. Interstellar identity. It's basically something like an ID card. Ming Cang's identity seems to be out of the ordinary. It could save her a lot of trouble. If there were interstellar identities, even if she completely integrate into this world. Late gave her a star brain that resembles a notebook. The pattern on top of this. You did your best with them. Place it wherever you think is suitable. The lowest rank for interstellar females is F class. The highest rank is S's level. The test primarily determines it's the mental strength and intelligence of the female. Sunai stared at the grid puzzle on the screen. The corner of his eye twitched almost imperceptibly. So simple. Kindergarten kids. I don't even bother with such childish stuff. As she unlocked the levels and passed through, she fell silent. I can't figure it out no matter how hard I think. What exactly is so difficult about it? Late's expression gradually shifted from encouragement to hesitation. From stunned to shocked. Her expression also grew more respectful. Be careful, do you still have the strength to go on? S-tier female. In the entire capital, there are only 9. But the little female in front of me. He still seems very relaxed. Not the slightest bit of effort was shown. Could she actually be an S's class female? Sunai has already cleared the last pattern on the screen. Draw to the correct position. Slowly turns to look at Late. Did you just say something, innocent one? I zoned out and didn't hear it. This game is so dumb. She's really feeling a bit bored. Even feeling sleepy. The screen erupted with a burst of colorful ribbons, revealing a massive SS rank in bold. Late was stunned. The Empire has produced its second S's rank female. He suddenly stood up. Calling over his assistant, excitedly said, the Empire has produced another S's rank female. I must register in person. I want to personally record this historic moment. Sunai is completely innocent. Blink, and you don't need to test anymore? Late turned around in surprise. You can still continue. Sunai was torn for a long time. Still, I voiced the doubts in my heart. Is this hard? Late froze for a moment. Level unprecedented test. Never been tested here before. Is it really that hard to question by someone? If it were someone else, he will definitely scold and mock without mercy. But this female. Just now, I easily passed the S's level test. Late's old eyes, shining with an unprecedented and peculiar radiance. He cautiously walked up to her and performed a gentleman's bow. Please go ahead. Sunai didn't understand what he was so hyped up about. In her eyes, it was just a boring jigsaw puzzle game. I should have known better than toast that extra question just now. Stop her early so she can still go to sleep. She had no choice but to move the cursor. Ribbon explosions tear. Late was so shocked that he froze on the spot. My head keeps spinning. Ming Cang stood up with a grave expression. A sense of crisis arose in my heart. 3S level female. This is unprecedented. Sunai is too outstanding. In the future, she might attract a lot of male suitors. He wasn't afraid of competing with other males. But she's so outstanding. What should I do if I don't like him? Sunai, unaware of the movements of those around him. Still going on to the next level. Soon, the confetti burst forth. The word shimmered in gold on the screen. It's been a long time without showing the next level. She looked suspiciously at the petrified people inside the room. Late staggered a step. Almost fell to the ground. Damn, she's actually a top-tier for S-class female. I haven't lived this long for nothing. Even if I were to die right now, I would have no regrets in this life. Sunai looked at him with concern. You don't seem to be in good health. Why don't you go back and rest first? Late's hands trembled. Ash took out the documents. No, I want to personally issue the proof for you. Name, Sunai. Age 15, Late filled Iton without a second thought. Then he continued to ask. Is your guardian Commander Ming Cang? Sunai was utterly bewildered. What is a guardian? Originally, Thempire had regulations. Every unmarried female, there should be at least 2 male guardians, both a protector and a caretaker. All future daily necessities and living arrangements, safety and travel arrangements will all be taken care of by them. Sunai looked at Ming Cang. Here, she only knows him. I just don't know if he's willing. Ming Cang's heart secretly tensed up. He had never been this nervous in his entire life. Please give me the chance to take care of you. I will do my best to protect you. Sunai felt very relieved in her heart. This guy is really something. It wasn't a waste of effort helping him after all. As for partners or the like, sounds like a free choice. She didn't take it to heart for the time being. The role of a guardian. Actually, it's pretty much the same as my fiance's situation. Most male guardians and female guardians. Feelings grow over time. In the end, they became partners. 4S class female. Even if matched with a top-tier male like Ming Cang. I also have to marvel at Ming Cang's luck. I actually became her first guardian. After sending Late away, the huge house was left with only Sunai and Ming Cang. Sunai kept looking at him curiously. Beastman. Are you deaf or what? Oh, the tail is gone too. Ming Cang's face turned a shade paler, bowed down to her willingly. Let a majestic wolf king, willingly tamed myself, be her loyal protector. Sorry for offending you yesterday. You can punish me. Whether it's hitting, scolding, or anything else. I won't resist. I only beg for your forgiveness. The beast form of males only manifests in 2 situations, during battle or when they lose control. Female animals are usually very timid. For carnivorous males, their beastly nature, they will be scared, disgust, and fear. She's saying this now. Are you mocking him? Sunai casually brushed past, as if by accident. A hand pressed down on the other side of the sofa, trapped him within the confines of his own arms. Innocent eyes blinked at him. Curious, are you a masochist, or what? Ming Cang hesitated, his eyes filled with doubt. If you're not a masochist, why are you asking me to punish you? Her breath lightly brushed head against his chest. Barely there. Ming Cang's heartbeat suddenly quickened. Aren't you disgusted by seeing my beast form? Sunai naturally reached out and rested his hand on his head. He touched the spot where I grew beast ears yesterday. I really liked how you looked yesterday. But what's your beast form? Is it a puppy? Ming Cang choked up and blushed as he explained that it wasn't. I am the Grey Wolf of the North. Northern Grey Wolf. Extremely fierce-seemed brutal wolf clan. Even a lone wolf's compatibility is exceptionally formidable, can go toe-to-toe with any top-tier carnivorous beast. Team leadership skills are absolutely outstanding. Now, actually being mistaken for a puppy. But he didn't mind at all. On the contrary, I'm reala happy that she said she likes me. Ming Cang couldn't help but feel excited once again. I want to see you fully transform into your beast form. Ming Cang's hesitant and somber voice actually carried a hint of humility. But my beast form is too big. Like those rabbit, cat, and beast forms, the cuteness might scare you. Ming Cang couldn't withstand her advances after all. Blushing and ears burning, he transformed into his beast form. The massive wolf body took up most of the five-seater sofa. Looking at her with uneasy eyes, seems worried about their dislike and fear, gently nuzzled her palm with his nose, full of fawning affection. Sunai looked at his beast form in astonishment. This is so much bigger, whole size larger than that black panther. To avoid revealing the purpose of his research, you're being too obvious. First, I stroked a long direction of his fur, trying to get him to let his guard down. Only then did I slowly start to observe him. Finally came to a conclusion. Ming Cang is a wolf king. It's hard to imagine what this ferocious beast would be like in battle, without any weapons at hand. I'm afraid she'll have to steer clear of his aggression. Realizing the power beneath this beastly form, her heart grew heavy. If there were more malabeastmen of Ming Cang's caliber, this world might be more dangerous than she anticipated. She wants to redefine the combat prowess of male ORCs here. And Ming Cang on the sofa was doing his best to suppress his nervousness. My heart is filled with both joy and shyness. The joy was that he discovered Sunai wasn't afraid of him at all. Touching him was so gentle that heck would drown in it. Shyly, she touched to carefully, as if studying some kind-of ultimate technique, like a rare and precious treasure. Luckily, he's in beast form now. Sunai couldn't see his face turning red. Otherwise his image will be completely ruined. Just as I was thinking this, the back leg was suddenly pulled apart. Ming Cang shuddered all over. He looked blankly at the girl, who was rubbing his belly. Silver Wolf instantly recoiled. Something in my mind snapped. Don't you dare touch there. Sunai snapped out of his research. A moment of regret. Just now, I was only focused on studying this peculiar, massive beast. I forgot he was a living thing. Luckily, I didn't reveal my true intentions. She gently rubbed his head affectionately without a trace. Sorry, you're just too cute, and look so majestic. I just want to look around everywhere. Silver Wolf's tension eased a bit. Carefully study his expression. Really? You actually my wild side? Sunai rubbed her face against his furry back. Of course, it's true. Holding someone as soft as Udo sleep must be so blissful. Which girl wouldn't like it? Ming Cang felt like he was going crazy from her teasing. My heart itches and flutters like a cat's scratch. The old me would never have believed it. At 34 years old, he still acts as shy and awkward as a freshly grown teenager. He really can't trust her at all. The old me used to look down on those malice who willingly degraded themselves for females. But now, he also wished he culturally prostrate himself at her feet, being a dog wagging its tail begging for her affection. Sunai, the apple of his eye, Sunai. And at the same time, after the imperial government person were shaken up, the empire has news off a 4S level female. It spread far and wide in an instant. The comment section on the government's official website on Starbrain, bombarded by male netizens coming from all directions. It's about to explode. Level female. What the hell are you talking about? I didn't count wrong, did I? It's truly a top-tier female. Is that female? The new beast god incarnate? No matter what she looks like, even if she's ugly as hell, I'm also willing to pursue her. Sunai, I remember her name. At the same time, underground black market in the forest. A man lowered his gaze to look at desktop star computer on the table. The homepage of the official government website prominently displays Sunai, 15-year-old 4S class female guardian Ming Cang, 3S class male, guardian 2, none. Risen stared at that official website message for a long time, thinking back to that time curled up in Ming Cang's arms. A fair-skinned girl who glows with a soft, delicate voice. He curled his lips slightly, a hint of desire flashing in his eyes. Leaning back in the chair, watching the endless stream of comments scrolling by. His gaze, however, lingered none of them, brimming with mockery. Trying to snatch a girl from Ming Cang? Others might not be worthy of knowing. Is this same 3S tier male even worthy? Life has been so dull lately. Grabbing a guardian to play around with doesn't seem too bad. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. A subordinate-looking person walked in respectfully and said, "The city lord found out that female named Sunai is an S4 level. It was Ming Cang who picked him up from the trash planet. The imperial capital doesn't hold her past either. The young black panther was rescued along with them. The male is named Shield. 16 years old, but always lying about being an adult. Usually, set up a stall in the trading society selling some low-grade potions. Occasionally, I also go to underground boxing rings to fight in illegal matches for commission. Now, he's at the military hospital. His mother died 7 years ago. Shield dropped out of school and worked desperately to earn money for his father's treatment. About to face the adult mating season. It is inferred that he probably hasn't saved up enough money for the suppressants, and he most likely still needs to buy life fluid to maintain his father's human form. Risen lazily stood up. Then help him out. Isn't he an underground boxer? Our underground fighting ring. It's about time to bring in some fresh blood. When the time comes, let that up-tier tattoo artist enjoy a good show. I really look forward to seeing you again." Ming Cang's watchdog was on guard. If you don't play some tricks, he probably won't be able to get close to her easily. Yet Sunai never expected. I woke up to find a row of soldiers standing outside the house. It's Ming Cang's men assigned to protect her. Outside the villa, there was a group of excited ORC males, continuously trying to peek into the house. Let's take a look at 4S level female. Sunai was completely dumbfounded. I didn't expect her status as a 4S level female to be so troublesome. She originally wanted to go out and explore the world a bit more. But right now, it's too high profile. If she goes out, the army will definitely follow her. She had no choice but to give up. Scrolling through Starbrain for a while in the room, she found that the internet was flooded with news about 4S level females. I checked it out. In the interstellar world, females are classified by their psychic abilities and ancient human genes. It can test the females of mental focus. The more concentrated the mental energy, the more it manifests ancient human genes of the female. She accidentally showed off. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. Sunai opened the door and saw a young man who looked to be in his early 20s. But the young man didn't expect Sunai to open the door so quickly. His hand-wiping sweat suddenly became awkwardly shy and flustered. "Hello, you must be that distinguished 4S level female. I am a representative sent by the capital city government. Originally, my father and other senior government officials were all going to come and pay you a visit. But Commander Ming Cang said you need to rest. So my father sent me here. I hope I'm not disturbing you." Sunai was very surprised. "Your father is." The young man hunched his body, speaking with humble nervousness. "My father is the third-class Duke Sukman. My name is Sukli. It's an S-class male. My beast form is a harmless little rabbit." Just before knocking on the door, "It has already been strictly inspected by the military. You don't have to worry about safety issues." Sunai subtly glanced at the top of the gentleman's hat without leaving a trace. There was nothing there at all. Look at him. He's so clean-cut and handsome. Fair and clean skin. If a pair of long rabbit ears appears, seems like it'll be really cute. She flashed a sweet smile. "Come in and have a seat first." Sukli was momentarily by her smile. Blushing, she lowered her head and walked in. However, what he didn't know was behind him, Sunai's innocent face. He was staring with great interest at his formal trousers. The two of them then sat down in the sofa, each taking a seat. Quickly immediately acted like Doraemon. Yam pulled out a bunch of stuff from his clothes. These are your rank badges and star travel documents. And the government has gifted you a personal star brain. There are 50 million star coins in star brain as condolence money. You are an S-class female. Every year, the government will deposit 50 million into your account. Sunai fiddled with the thing he had pulled out. I found out that the badge was a purple brooch. So what does this badge do? Sukli said with awe. This is a symbol of your status. As long as you carry this medal, anywhere within the jurisdiction of the empire, you can come and go as you please. Anyone who goes against you is to oppose the empire. And the imperial system is, every single female has at least 2 guardians. The government hopes you will select a second guardian as soon as possible, or form a partner, to ensure you receive a better care from the male. If you don't have a favorite candidate within a month, the government will consider matching you with another person at their discretion. Excellent male. Sukli opened that brand new Starbrain again. Back to the partner application page. With a flushed face, he handed it to Sunai. Sunai took a glance, raised an eyebrow in surprise. The interface shows 60000 families have applied. And the numbers keep increasing. And the top 3 in the rankings, Sukli's name was conspicuously on the list. He showed that he had applied over 13,000 times. She looked at the bashful Sukli. Do you want to be my guardian? Yes. Sukli didn't directly look her in the eye. Nervously fidgeting. I could feel my heart pounding like crazy. This pressure made his beast ears almost pop out. Under Sunai's gaze, he mustered up his courage. Blushing, Sunai said. The dukes of our empire hereditary for females. I will soon inherit my father's title of third-class duke as well. Even an S-class male is nowhere near as impressive as Marshal Ming Cang. But I'll do my best to get promoted. I've been working hard since a childhood to learn how to serve women, whether in life or in relationships. The pairing is very skillful. Can you give me a chance? Sunai was speechless. In life, and in everything else. Her and a rabbit. Suddenly, the door was opened. Ming Cang appeared at the door still in his military uniform. Ming Cang suddenly shot Sukli a glance, until looking at Sunai. The imposing aura in his eyes faded away, turning into tenderness. The military guard stationed outside Sunai's door relayed the latest news to him, informing him that the government had sent people over. He dropped everything and rushed back. Those old farts in the government. He definitely can't come up with anything good. Kay stood up and walked over to Ming Cang. He nodded slightly in greeting. Ming Cang looked coldly at this brash young man. I remember your beast form was a rabbit. A herbivorous male dares to even think about laying a finger on Sunai. Ming Cang, the military commander. My beast form is Asker. Battle rabbit is an omnivorous male. Not just eating grass. You can also eat meat. Ask is the battle bunny. The interstellar personality's the most ferocious. And the most ferocious rabbit in terms of attack power. In terms of combat, carnivorous males always look down on herbivorous males. But when it comes to dating, herbivorous male, forever more popular with families than carnivorous males. Ming Cang's cold, sharp eyes locked onto him. You're looking for death. He never stoops to argue with inexperienced doiners weaker than himself. But that doesn't mean this overestimating quink can mess with his woman. The air was thick with the tension of an impending confrontation. Sunai also caught a whiff of something unusual. She looked at them in surprise. What's wrong? The two males simultaneously lost their imposing aura. Ming Cang walked over gently. Are you hungry or something? I bought you a new flavor of nutrient solution. You try it. Sukli's jaw tightened at the back. Sunai female. Our government controls more brands with diverse flavors. Many of the nutrient solutions are not available for purchase elsewhere. Next time, bring some for you, okay? Sunai hesitated a bit. Maybe except for nutrient solution. Is there anything else to eat? Drinking water every meal. What flavor of drink? No matter how filling, it's still just water. She's so depressed she cold drink herself to death. Ming Cang thinks for a bit. There's a nutritionist in the imperial capital. You can use ingredients to create fresh and innovative food variations. I'll have someone contact him. So there are actually people in this world who can cook. Sunai breathed a sigh of relief. Instinctively, she held onto him with a radiant smile. Thank you for your trouble, General. Sunai's affection for Ming Cang. It really made Sukli jealous. Perhaps he needs to go back and think it over carefully. After the polite farewell. Before leaving, Sukli gave Sunai a sincere look. Distinguished Sunai female, regarding what I just said, I still hope you will definitely consider me. Unexpectedly, the door was slammed shut by Ming Cang. The male ORCs watching from the sidelines. I saw Sukli come out. They were all thrilled. Someone who knew him immediately asked what happened. Sukli, have you seen that S-tier female? Sukli glanced at the villa. Sunai is a very beautiful female. Also very gentle. I can't describe her beauty with any words. Sukli's words made Theurk males even more excited. The most gentle and beautiful top-tier female. Where's my beast, God? Is there really such a perfect female? In the villa, Lin chancellently pursed his thin lips. What did he say to you? He gave me the government-issued star brain and medal. They say it's very easy to detect my level in the capital. And Sunai Nan's expression looked a bit strange. He might want to become my guardian. He's really good at taking care of people. Still very good at mating. Ming Cang's body suddenly stiffened. I want to grab Sukli back right now and beat the crap out of him. Herbivorous beastmen are truly shameless. When it comes to dating, he never really cared that much. Childhood. He was just average in combatant military strategy studies. Very interested. On the contrary, when it comes to the art of serving females, every time it's just barely scraping by the passing mark. But at this moment, his sense of crisis is greater than ever before. Ming Cang looked at Sunai on the sofa. Holding her hand, he slowly crouched down. In a half-kneeling posture, stay by her side with a low profile. Do you like him? He devoutly kissed the back of Sunai's hand. With the demeanor of a devoted follower. With a naturally sexy, deep voice like Yaya's. Or maybe what I'm trying to ask is, what kind of breast shape do you like? I can also try my best to please you. Sunai admitted she was a bit surprised and said, Ming Cang is a mature and serious figure in her eyes. Can say such explicit things. It must have been very difficult for him. A glimmer of amusement flashed in his eyes. Rest your chin on your hand. Tilting his head, he asked, how are you going to please me? Ming Cang was a bit flustered and at a loss. Actually, it's a dangerous time right now. Especially with Sunai still by my side. The emotions inside Thebati are easily stirred up. He restrained himself from pulling her hand to his beating heart. I am your possession. As long as it's your request, I will always satisfy you. Sunai felt the heartbeat beneath his palm. The atmosphere instantly became ambiguous. Who can resist a broad-shouldered, slim-waisted daddy? Not to mention Ming Cang's appearance is so aggressive. But now, he willingly lowers himself to submit before him. Sincerely beg for his mercy. Sunai gave a light cough. Withdrawing his hand, Ming Cang felt somewhat disappointed. Holding back for so many years. The first time taking the initiative to seek closeness, just like that, it's a failure. Sunai sensed his low spirits. He stood up and touched his hair. You just said no matter what request I have, you'll be satisfied too. Right, isn't it? I will fulfill any of your requests. A hint of slights flashed in Sunai's eyes. Then I'm sleepy. Can you turn into your beast form and sleep with me? Ming Cang was taken aback for a moment, but still agreed. He carried her to the soft bed. Finally, his body transformed into a giant gray wolf. He lay down right next to him. From an angle he couldn't see. A few silver gray hairs remained on Sunai's. The next day in hand, Sunai was awakened by the alert tone from Star Brain. He clicked on the email. It turned out to be a golden snake patterned invitation. Underground trading city of Mori Shura Arena deathmatch VIP spectator seats. Contestant Shield, 17-year-old prisoner. Who is Shield the Black Panther? Sunai doesn't know. But when I saw Theward's Black Panther, he suddenly thought of the Black Panther he had saved. Youth. This arena is both a battleground of demons and a fight to the death. Looks like trouble is coming. And why send it to him? He once saved that Black Panther. Nor does it mean they're interested in saving others. Sunai rubbed the gray wolf's fur. Ming Cang, do you know about the Usura platform? It's known to be an underground fighting arena in the Black Market City. Their arena rules are extremely brutal. Contestants will face off against multiple opponents. Even a battle of attrition. Surviving till the end is victory. But very few people can survive from there. Don't go near there. I haven't been around during the day these past few days. Take your army with you when you go out, okay? Ming Cang was a bit uneasy. Like giving instructions to a child. Ming Cang's smart alarm clock went off. He got up regretfully, packed his things, and headed out. He turned around. His gaze swept over the troop station outside the villa. Take good care of him. If anything goes wrong, shoot everyone in the house. With no outsiders around, Sunai's demeanor became unusually calm. He picked up the Star Brain. There's still 1 hour left before today's tournament begins. He wanted to see who sent him this email. What the hell do you want? He's quick. Changed into the same outfit he wore when I went out earlier. Looked out the window. The army guarding Garen the house. With a few leaps, he flipped onto the rooftop. Avoided the militarist line of sight. He quickly dodged out of the villa. This match seems to be really intense. More like a fighting ring. It's more like a massive gladiator arena. The rules of the battlefield arena. Challengers can team up to take on the contestant. As long as you kill the contestants, it counts. The winner must kill all challengers to participate. To be eligible for the bonus. To put it simply, the Black Panther boy has to take on over a dozen grown men single-handedly. Kill them. And you only get Themini if you survive. Moreover, being able to become a Kalengermians, they're at least a grade male. Among them, there might even be S-rank males. The situation is truly cruel. They left almost no way out for Black Panther. He glanced at those challengers. Then, following the invitation, they went to the VIP seats on the second floor. But he sized up this compartment. I found out there are surveillance cameras here. And on the other end of the surveillance monitor behind him, a trace of surprise flickered in his deep, dark eyes. He is the female one. Not being afraid of such bloody scenes is one thing. He actually looks quite interested. The battle on the stage gradually turned brutal. The Black Panther killed its 6th alpha male. The beast's mouth and claws were covered in blood. He clearly entered a state of exhaustion. And the 2 S-class males on the field. He's been leading him on like a cat playing with a mouse. Although Shield's strength is indeed not to be underestimated. But in this unfair battle, no one thought Shale was a threat. On the contrary, the S-class male can't wait to go easy. Let Shield kill a few more. The more competitors Shield kills, the more money they get. The alpha males also realize this problem. While the Black Panther catches its breath, immediately launches a full-scale siege. The scene was chaotic and dangerous. Sunai on the 2D floor narrowed her eyes. A group of tough guys bullying a little kid. Still resorting to ganging up on others, huh? He's a bit of a knight in shining armor. Then Shield took down 2 more males in a row. My gaze swept Bune intentionally, suddenly fixed on a certain compartment on the second floor. It was him, Black Panther, staring unblinkingly at the other. For a moment, the emotions were sorrowful and complicated. Why does he always look so pathetic at times like this? He saw everything. Maybe he doesn't even recognize him at all. But his condition was utterly filthy. Still so lowly as to throw away one's life for money. Unexpectedly, the Black Panther let out a furious roar in an instant. In one swift move, he pinned down the male who had ambushed him. The audience outside the venue erupted in gasps of shock and sighs of regret. At the same time, in the partitioned room on the second floor, "It's time." Zhao Lan blocked all the surveillance cameras in the venue for me. I finally managed to salve a little animal for once. I really hope it doesn't die. The cold male voice replied. All on-site monitors have been successfully blocked. Wishing you a pleasant time. The system voice faded away. Sunan now held a silenced sniper rifle in his hand. Stepped back in a flash, hiding in the corner. This sniper rifle looks no different from regular firearms on the outside. The only difference is that these bullets are made of ice, pierced into the flesh. The bullet will soon melt and disappear. It makes it impossible to figure out the other party's method of killing. This is his usual weapon of laying dumb to deceive others. If he can't take the field, just help him cheat. Bang bang bang. Several ice bullets shot into the chaotic arena. Almost at the same moment the Black Panther's claws reached them. Several E-rank males instantly collapsed to the ground. Holy shit, what just happened? Who saw clearly? This Black Panther just instantly took out 4 classy males. Little did they know, Black Panther was also dumbfounded at this moment. He was both startled and doubtful, looking at the fallen corpse. Looking around. Someone is helping him. But now, there's no time to think too much. He jumped up in known swift motion, instantly retreated the corner. At this moment, 2 rank males were preparing to kill him with full force. Everyone expected the outcome. This young Black Panther, who has fit for so long, is about to fall. Yet Sunai, in the corner of Thescon floor, let out a cold laugh. I'll give you another hand, sis. Right at those 2 rank males. The moment the attack was launched. A shot hit the eagle's wing. A shot hit the giant ape's weak spot. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds and the whole place went wild. Everyone in the audience was not unbelievably stood up. And Sunai just lightly blew away the icy smoke from the gun barrel. Got the ice sniper. Satisfied, he stroked the mounted spatial system. Watching with great interest as the referee stepped onto the stage. Check out your masterpiece. If they can actually find out, that would be truly supernatural. On the other hand, the dark office. Because the surveillance screen suddenly went dark. Interrupted myself. Admire Sunai the female. Risen is extremely angry. The subordinate entered trembling with fear. I reported the situation off the arena to him. Did you find out what's going on? The referee hasn't checked the wound yet. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. And the surveillance camera in the Shura battlefield somehow got broken. At this very moment, the light screen that was originally turned off due to the broken monitor, it lit up again. The female wearing a hat in the frame, still holding up my chin, leisurely watching the ring. As if the surveillance camera was never broken. Risen looked at Thepatite Sunidis. His doubts were quickly dispelled. Women are inherently delicate. Even if it's a 4S grade female. Nor does it have the ability to attack males. It's just a loss match, no big deal. Trading City isn't short on money. If it were any other time, the Usura platform will definitely not let this go without a fight. But now, his attention isn't on the ring at all. He is more concerned about Sunai. At this moment, Sunai was about to leave. Only to bump straight into the chest of a tall, lean male. He's probably around 6'3" or so in height. The angle of slightly bowing one's head. Falling for him gives the illusion of being spoiled. finally showed up. Sunai raised his hand to push down his hat. The gaze directed at Risen held not a hint of aggression. As if he were just a delicate little girl. Just asking, "Did you send me the email invitation?" Risen admitted it outright. "Was it me who had misubordinates hack into your heart? The message I sent you is for the steamed for S-grade female. It's not easy to meet you in person. As a male. Of course, I also really want to win your favor." The smile on Risen's face had turned dangerous. "You dare to show up alone in my turf. It really took me by surprise." When sending out the invitation letter, he had even prepared himself to face Ming Cang. The preparation soft the Imperial army. "You should know Thetis a male guardian. Ming Cang cannot disobey the orders of a female. Even if this trading society is dangerous. As long as Sunai wants to come, he must do everything in his power to escort them safely." In the end, he actually disguised himself and came alone in secret. What a bold little female. Or is it that he has a thing for that little one called Shield? Are you really that interested? Sunai doesn't seem to notice the danger. Glanced at the starbrain on my wrist, apologetically saying thank you for your kind invitation. But I have to go back now. Otherwise, my guardian will get worried. Ming Cang usually comes home in about an hour. He had to get home before he opened the door. Risen looked at this one, who had fallen into a snake pit. Still clueless, little chick. The dark eyes were like a venomous snake locking onto its prey. The smile carried a hint of playful mockery. "Ming Cang didn't tell you. What kind of place is the underground trading city?" There was an inexplicable and chilly smell about him. It sent a shiver down Sunai's spine. At this moment, I finally became wary and looked at him. Ming Cang already said it. The delicate-looking girl suddenly raised her eyes. The next second, a single strike. The syringe was inserted into his neck. Risen was caught off guard and in pain. Then he fell down head first. Before passing out, He saw the girl crouch down. Pat his face lightly. Her face remains delicately soft as ever. The expression was sneering. "Don't underestimate females. It's easy to capsize in a ditch. This vial of medicine." He deliberately increased the dosage several times over. Enough to knock out a giant animal for 4 or 5 days. "I just don't believe it won't flip." He got up and took a couple of steps. He suddenly thought of something. I went back and plucked 2 more strands of his hair. There was once a young man covered in scars, thrown into the rain while being carried by others. Then a bag of star coins was also thrown on the ground. Shield coughed up a mouthful of blood, loaded up the star coins, climbed up using both hands and feet. That female. Did he leave safely? Suddenly, an umbrella blocked the rain above his head. A pleasant female voice came through. "Still not leaving? Haven't that enough of a beating?" The feminine fragrance drifted into Shell's breath with the rainy breeze. "He's a general." Suddenly, as if startled by a ghost, he took 2 steps back in shock, straight back into the rain. He grabbed his hand without another word. "This is not a good place to stay for long. Follow me in an instant." Shield seemed to have forgotten the pain on his body. Dazed, I was quickly led by him. The soft sensation in my hands. It made him feel like he was struck by lightning all over. Numb and dizzy. The rain hitting him in the face couldn't bring him back to his senses even a little. He held onto Somionia as pure as him. Yet she was holding his hand, stained with blood and tainted by slaughter. No, he dirtied it. He instinctively tried to pull his hand back. But that pale hand grabbed back instead. He had no choice but to let himself be dragged along. "We've reached the safety zone under the Empire's jurisdiction." Sunai finally let him go. "That's it for now. I'm heading back first. Your wound can't get wet in the rain anymore." He slowly came to his senses after the fact. "Want to follow along?" Followed a couple off steps, then stopped again. Humbly gazing at him. "Did you come out alone? Where is your father?" Sunai turned back to look at Shield. "Don't follow me. I don't need you to send it." Sheil tightly pursed her lips. His aloofness made him feel uneasy, yet it also feels perfectly justified. He lowered his head and looked at the bloodstains in his palm. Sheil suddenly looked around. Please wait for me a moment. It'll be ready soon. After saying that, head on down the star coins. Run outside. Washed my hands thoroughly with rainwater. Then he came back holding a handful of clean rainwater. Seeing him getting nervous again. Take 2 steps back. Sorry for dirtying your hands. This water is clean. May I help you wash your hands? Sunai sized up his appearance. The recovery ability of those undergone ORCs is seriously badass. He's already hurt that badly. Now, you can still run and jump. He paused for a moment. Look at the water he barely managed to catch in his palms. It's about to spill out completely. Only then did he rack out his hand. Big Love nervously and self-consciously half kneeled down. Carefully cleaned the bloodstains from his palm. Even so, he still felt like had offended him. He is so pure and holy. Even if this filthy thing off his crawls on the ground. To even touch his shoe with your forehead would be an offense. Yet I couldn't help but blush to the tips of my ears from the touch. Sunai was surprised at his humble demeanor. Considering his experience over the past couple of days, it's hard to imagine what his young man has been through. Even if it's him, it couldn't help but stir up a bit of heartache. He crouched down, looking him straight in the eye. My name is Sunai. Probably a bit older than you. You can call me sis. You don't have to act so submissive around me. You're a very brave male. You know what? This bare-faced look right in front of me. A pure and breathtaking Labulachu face. Sheil was completely stunned. He had never seen a female like her before. As good-looking as she is. Is she a goddess? Sunai waved her hand in front of his eyes. Push the hat down. I originally wanted to give him enough respect. Tell him not to be so insecure. But now, it's all good. He simply wouldn't listen to what she was saying. Forget it, whatever. He flipped his wrist. He shoved a medicine bottle into his hand. This is a healing medicine. The effect should be pretty good. You remember to play it yourself. I'm leaving first. He raised his hand. Looking at that small medicine bottle. Carefully tuck it into the innermost pocket of your clothes. And at this moment inside the villa, Ming Cang noticed that Hugh is no longer in the room. The army is clearly still guarding outside. Is he really going torn out all by himself? The unease in my heart grows. At this moment, there was some movement coming from the bathroom. He stopped in front of the bathroom door, worriedly asking Sunai, "Are you in there?" Just hesitating whether to open it or not. The door opened by itself. A petite figure suddenly popped out and leaped into his arms. Ming Cang heaved a sigh of relief. Then I felt just how passionate his actions were. The next second, a surge of yet rushed straight to my head. But his face remained dead serious. You're so cold all over. Sunai snuggled up to him, soaking in his warmth. In fact, he had just arrived at the villa. I realized Ming Cang was already at the door. And at that time, half of his body was soaked by the heavy rain. To avoid being discovered, I had no choice but to hide in the bathroom. Drenched myself to the bone. There's no denying it. He's now jumping into his arms. Just wanted to distract him. Make sure he doesn't notice any loopholes in the details. But Ming Cang has a high fever. He didn't even want to let go. Ming Cang also noticed his sudden clinginess. He grabbed a towel and wiped his hair dry for him. And this was the first time he took on a human form. Held so tightly in his embrace. I just feel a bit restless in my body. Had to try to distract myself. The Empire is preparing to host a banquet in your honor. Just 3 days later. Do you want to go? Sunai thought for a moment. Then do I have to buy a dress? This is a great opportunity to learn more about the world. Of course, I'm going. I'll have someone make you a custom dress for you. Just focus on being happy. Don't worry about these trivial matters. Detected a noble for S-class female like Sunai. Central star place great importance on it. This time, we're throwing a banquet specifically for him. One reason is that the royal family wanted to welcome him. Secondly, the young noble and imperial males. They will all co-mado this banquet. For Sunai to choose from. He won't be the only guardian. The central star will not allow it either. At most, within a month. The government will then screen and recommend a second guardian for him. It won't be long. Other males will soon appear by his side. By then, will he still be willing to sit in his arms like this? Ming Cang felt anxious. And the little female in his arms gradually grew warm. Had already fallen into a deep sleep. The next day, an old monk knocked on the villa's door. Sunai's face looked extra melancholy as he sized him up. A face that makes you feel close to them. His expression softened a bit. The tone wasn't very friendly. You're that top-tier female. I am Yao. Here to cook for you. He walked in with his hands behind his back, minding his own business. Ming Cang is handling work emails. Hearing the commotion, he came out at this moment. The old man looked furious. Instinctively shielded Sunai. Yao snorted coldly. The people in family aren't very kind. You're using a 400-year-old geezer like me. Trying to please your bitch. Don't even let me show my displeasure. Sunai heard this. Sticking my head out, I took another look at the old man. This is his arrival in the Star World. The first long-lived elder I saw. At this moment, Sunai isn't angry at all. Instead, he squinted his eyes. The kind old man congreveled a warm smile. Isn't this the longevity excrement who's still alive? The grumpy old face softened upon seeing Sunai's friendly smile. I'm a bit surprised. He immediately went to the kitchen alone with a cold expression. He immediately wanted to follow along. Pulled back by Ming Cang. Don't go. Wait until he finishes cooking. Someone will bring it over. Academician Yao has a bad temper. I'm afraid he might scare you. He pushed Ming Cang aside and groped his way to the kitchen window. I saw that old man carefully washing his hands with a serious expression. Put on the white gloves properly. Disinfection face shield. Medical head cap. Clean the knives. The ingredients on the plate seemed to have oct. Even the size of the ingredients to be measured with a ruler. Again and again. Carefully slicing in one direction. Sunai grimaced in pain. What kind of frisark is him doing? As expected of an academician. I always feel like Heshold be in the experiment. In the room, there was a pair of experimental vessels. Instead of appearing in the kitchen holding a tomato. At this moment, Yao noticed how serious he was. His face instantly turned furious. What are you coming over for? Get lost, even if you're just some old man. He also had no choice but to admit it. This 4S level female is indeed beautiful and amiable. But that doesn't mean you can disturb him while he's doing research. Sunai wasn't angry at his temper. Before leaving, she glanced at Yao's next move after stir-frying the tomato chunks. Can't help but remind. But stir-fried tomatoes are not recommended to be cooked with milk and green peppers. It might really affect the taste. Yao is fuming with anger. You little female liar. Do you know anything? This is an ancient human recipe. The classic cuisine that has been passed down through the ages. Sunai doesn't understand. Which ancient human? To leave behind such a bizarre classic cuisine. At least stir-fry tomatoes with milk and green peppers. He even saw with his own eyes they started adding sugar and vinegar. This combination. He wasn't sure if he would get diarrhea after eating. Studied knowledge for a lifetime. Being called untrustworthy. Academician Ao's stubbornness flared up in an instant. He slammed the table. He took out a book with torn and tattered pages, turned to one of the pages, angrily pointing and saying, "See clearly. This is one of the most classic cuisines of ancient humans. Do you know how many dishes you've matched according to the list? Just figured it out? You unreasonable female." Sunai glanced at the book. I don't know how many years have passed. The font is all blurred, but it can still be vaguely seen from the picture. That's a plate of scrambled eggs with tomatoes. The corner of his mouth twitched, reached out, and flipped it over. The next page is spare ribs and corn soup. The font is also very blurry. Yo anxiously slapped his hand away. Don't touch him. This is a precious and rare surviving copy. Sunai is speechless. Stir-fried tomatoes with eggs plus spare rib and corn soup equals a priceless rarity. He's just too damn lazy. Thinking that Ming Cang would hire a nutritionist. Just bear with it for these few days. Who knew this nutritionist would turn out to be even more unreliable than him? Alright, how about this? If I cook a dish that's better than yours, more like the dish in this picture, just agree to on a condition for me. How about that? Yao burst out laughing, showing disdain. He naturally wouldn't bother with the spoiled brat of a woman. You've spent your entire life studying your own field of knowledge. I'm a 4S grade female. If I remember correctly, I think I might be qualified. Get along equally with males of any level. Yo stopped moving. Far more than just getting along is equals. 4S grade female has the right to dominate any male in terms of status. On this point, he doesn't even have the right to flaunt his seniority. Yao snorted coldly. Mix the homemade tomato cheese cubes with green peppers. Carefully scoop it up. Since you don't know the immensity of heaven and earth, then just do it. But I must warn you, our Paleolithic cuisine research department has a rule. No matter what kind of thing you've made, you have to finish it all by yourself. Because of this, when his apprentice first started learning, having diarrhea and nosebleeds every other day, even breaking out in rashes all over the body, when this female was crying, Sunai smiled. Don't worry, I'll definitely finish it all. He placed an order for ingredients on Starbrain. The delivery in this world is incredibly fast. Brought some tomatoes. He bought eggs and chopped scallions. Bought some more meat. I really feel like having some pork rib soup now. Ming Cang saw him enter the kitchen, walked over and took another look at Yao's pale face. Zhang Sunai is guarding nearby. His face darkened. Academician Yao. Sunai is delicate and fragile. He can't go into the kitchen. Yao was fuming with anger. Who let him into the kitchen? It's this bitch who insisted on challenging me. The old man said, the food I made is inedible. I'm practically a tenured professor in ancient human cuisine. The amount of nutrient solution you drink is all prepared by me. He actually had the nervato say my cooking is inedible. Ming Cang took the initiative to offer Sunai a way out. Sunai, let me help you. Paleolithic cuisine studies. I also studied during my school days. As Sunai began cooking the vegetables, the words he hadn't finished saying suddenly caught in his throat. His lightning-fast knife skills made his heart race with fear, afraid he might cut his hand. He didn't know Sunai's wordsmanship was unmatched, whether it's chopping vegetables or chopping people. Just got it, and it's a total joke. Yao's face was filled with anger. At this moment, the old Ison consciously softened a bit, looking at him with suspicion. No use of a ruler. How come every tomato slice is almost the same size? Hey, but being able to chop vegetables has nothing to do with cooking. Cooking is a whole field of study. Beat the eggs into the pan, tomatoes in the pot. The ripe juice quickly overflowed. The aroma is overflowing. You couldn't help but walk up to the pot, peeking around. The nose kept twitching slightly. What's going on? As a research academician Cecil in ancient human cuisine, he knows exactly what a failed dish looks like. Burnt to a crisp. The taste is weird. This is what a failed dish should look like. And this dish isn't only fragrant. Even the color is top-notch. He's been researching for so many years. Even if you add more food coloring, the dishes have never been this natural before. Afterwards, a complete plate of scrambled eggs with tomatoes was placed in front of Yao. Sunai tilted her head slightly and smiled. Academician yo. Why don't you compare them? Does this dish look like the one in your picture? A single word wakes the dreamer. Yo hurriedly took out the ancient recipe book. Fingers trembling, repeatedly comping the details in the pictures. His cooking is always the same. A strange light gleamed in his old eyes. All the previous anger was completely gone. Unconsciously wipe it on myself. A somewhat awkward smile tugged at the corners of his mouth. Sunai female. May I try your research results? Sunai agreed with a smile. You carefully washed Thetabaware many times over. I even made a special trip to sanitize my hands. He straightened his posture with a dignified air. Afraid of affecting the taste of this dish, he nervously took a deep breath. A small piece of egg goes into the mouth. Strange. An unfamiliar flavor exploded on my taste buds. Yo widened his eyes in shock. When looking at the dish in front of me, the wrinkled old face trembled with excitement. This kind of taste. So fresh and delicious. Yao's reaction truly exceeded Sunai's expectations. He admitted that he also wanted to show off a bit. Who told him toil at him just now? But the old man is getting in years, after all. Can this hold up? He couldn't help but ask with concern. Academician Yao, are you okay? The old man, with bloodshot eyes, wiped away the hot tears from the corners of his eyes. Complicated and cautious, she gazed at him. Sunai female. I've spent centuries dressing ancient human recipes. Today, I finally tasted real delicious food. Can you tell me? How did you make this? Sunai hesitated for a moment. This dish is called stir-fried tomatoes with eggs. I don't know why I did it. I just feel like Heshold do it this way. Can't just tell him's a time traveler. This is just an ordinary dish in his world. Oh, was still shocked. Eyes filled with tears. Ming Cang's deep eyes were also filled with admiration and affection. Sunai is always surprisingly outstanding. Whenever he felt like he wasn't good enough for her, you'll find that she's far more outstanding than he imagined. He broke the awkward atmosphere. To Ya about that. If you're curious how it's done, I can teach you. Ya went from shock to delight. Would you be willing to teach me? He instantly felt a deep respect for this woman. As expected, often S-class female. The vision is so grand. Yo cautiously stood up. Gave him a gentlemanly bow. Sunai female. I apologize for my unreasonable outburst just now. You must be hungry. Please go ahead and eat. As long as you remember, you promised me one condition, that's all. Sunai is in a better mood. He's not that bad. The condition is just to keep this long-lived old man alive. Just using myself as a test subject, that's all. I won't ask for the moon. But before that, he needs to cook some rice first. While the rice is cooking, I'll sauce to a pot of pork rib and corn soup. Yo watched helplessly as Hedifly blanched the pork ribs. Cut the corn into chunks. After a while, the lid is lifted off the pot. An incredibly fresh and ripe aroma of crispy meat wafted out. The aroma is so enticing it makes your mouth water. Right now, in Yahu's eyes, Sunai is practically a godlike treasure. In his eyes, she was better than a 4S grade female. Even more precious than genius. Seeing Yao crane his neck, peeking around, and Ming Cang kept glancing his way too. Just go ahead and serve each of them a bowl. The piping hot fresh soup goes down the throat. Yao got scalded pretty badly. Then his eyes lit up. Ming Cang took a sip and savored it. He was also looking at this small bowl of soup in disbelief. Is this Sunai's talent? His woman is not only stunningly beautiful but also top tier in terms of status. Even his talent is so extraordinary. Their exaggerated reactions made Sunai facepalm. Let's eat together. Felt a bit embarrassed. First time meeting. Just took someone else's pre-arch findings like that. Obviously, it's utterly shameless. He had no choice but to shamelessly say with anticipation. Then I won't refuse your kind offer. Ming Cang put down the utensils, gently pulled out the chair for him. In his mind, males should cater to males meticulously. He was even ready to feed him. Sunai decisively stopped it, shoved the cutlery into his hand. You eat yours. I eat my own. Don't worry about me. Yo admired Sunai more as an onlooker. This woman is not only capable, she's not the least bit spoiled, as expected of an S-tier female. The next 2 days, Yo specially prepared a bunch of ingredients and humbly sought to learn. He stubbornly held onto the ancient recite book, asking for advice page by page. Sunai was so pestered by him that she didn't have time to respond. Ming Cang thought that he would still need the old man as a test subject in the future. I can put up with it. So after Yo learned how to cook a dish, while Ming Cang is away, he quietly whispered to Sunai, Sunai, I heard that you only have a Ming Cang as your guardian. Have you chosen a candidate for the second guardian yet? I have a grandson named Yaz, tall and handsome. It's a 2S class male. This year I'm 29 years old, 5 years younger than Ming Cang. That child has been considerate since childhood. If you like it when the time comes, it's fine to take him as a concubine husband. Sunai was completely dumbfounded. He was just thinking about how to answer when Ming Cang came over. Ming Cang brought along a few designers from the capital. Obviously, he had no idea his wife almost got snatched away by someone else. It's very late, take a break. They are here to show off their talents for you. Yo also nervously greeted them. And then he bolted off in a flash. Ming Cang had a bad feeling. Ask Su Man what he wanted you to think about. He said he has a grandson named Ashi. Good looking. Let me reap the side, husband. Ming Cang's hand by his side slowly clenched into a fist. If it weren't for Ming Cang deploying the troops, standing guard outside to protect, the threshold to see him has probably been trampled to pieces long ago. Even so, they still held a dinner banquet. Let him show up. Tonight, all the noble males of Central Star will appear at the banquet. It's called a dinner party. It's actually the capital's beauty pageant for Sunai to pick a consort. He wanted to hide him even more. The allure of a 4S great female is too strong. On the other side, the young men at the banquet were full of vigor and ambition, looking at the door from time to time. The eyes are brimming with eager excitement. Today, these young nobles, traveling thousands of molesto, gather in the capital. It's all to obtain that legendary, the favor of a 4S class female. Whoever can become his husband, even if it's just a side husband, that would be such a glorious and honorable thing for the family. And that family still unmarried. Only military commander Ming Cang is the sole guardian. They have plenty of opportunities. Someone couldn't hold back. I wonder why they still haven't come. Guess what that family Sunai actually looks like. Right now, the 6th prince, Jia Ang, sat impatiently in his seat. I think that Sunai is just an ugly freak. Otherwise, he would already be so famous in the imperial capital. Why hasn't Anione seen his true face yet? Must be too Uglido show their face. No one dared to respond. Prince Zhang is the most favored in the imperial palace. The most handsome prince as well. He perfectly replicated the queen's excellent genes. Now I'm already 20 years old. In the interstellar world, it wastes age for matching with a female mate. Many high-ranking females actively pursued him. But he wasn't the least bit happy. She still often cries like a woman. Obviously, he showed up here this time very reluctantly. The queen's consort furrowed his brow. I've warned you before, Gong. Do not discuss the honorable female. Gong let out a cold snort. No more words were spoken. And Sukli watched this scene coldly from the corner. He was the only one in the whole place who knew what Sunai looked like. But he's just the son of a third-class duke. At this banquet, filled with nothing but royalty and nobility, not having much say in the matter. That arrogant and self-righteous jerk Gong. Wait till he meets female Sunai. You will definitively regret your arrogance. At this very moment, The banquet hall doors opened. Ming Cang was dressed in a sharp suit. And by his side, the petite female figure, clad in a pale blue evening gown, holding onto Ming Cang's arm, looking curiously at the crowd. The males immediately go tall, worked up in an instant. Is she the female Sunai? So beautiful. She must be the beast god's daughter. Only the beast god could create such an outstanding female. Gang's original impatient expression. After subconsciously glancing at Sunai, I froze for a moment. Then his body involuntarily up a bit. He snapped out of it. Only then did I realize. My own brothers have our distorted enthusiastically sucking up. Even though Ming Cang and Junwei were like guardian angels, striking up a conversation. Keep Sunai at a certain distance from them. And Sunai wasn't the least bit intimidated by this kind of show of force. He would still smile at them in a friendly manner. That smile was so bright and adorable. It's so heart-meltingly sweet. Gong gazed at him fintly from a distance. I actually kind of look forward to him smiling at him alone just once. But this is clearly wishful thinking. Sunai. Not once did she glance in his direction. He felt a momentary pang of disappointment. Then she got angry and wouldn't even look this way. That's fine. He also disdains becoming his own father's lackey. As soon as the words were spoken, the queen, dressed in resplendent attire, was surrounded by a crowd of people. Kindly walked up to Sunai. Sunai is so beautiful. Central Star is truly honored. Able to detect a powerful female like you. After exchanging pleasantries, the queen started peeling Sunai along. Introduce him to young princes. This is Cang, my sixth son. Sunai female. He is the most handsome among all my sons. Do you think Hejuit's your taste? Gang's heartbeat suddenly quickened. Sunai was actually spacing out the whole time. Just now. The system Jiaolan collected the hairs from that day. The test you did. Got the results. Unfamiliar mammal. The fur of the beast was tested and found to contain a longevity component at 2%. The percentage value is too low. Not enough to unravel the secrets of longevity. Keep searching. Ming Cang and Rizenares rank males. Already the strongest male in this world. And Yao is already 400 years old. Their longevity ingredient are only at 2%. Where can we find ingredients with even higher longevity benefits? Regardless of strength or weakness. Does it depend on bloodline? The queen is still introducing. This time, his hint was even more obvious. Sunai finally snapped out of it. Looking at the stern fastidious man in front of me. He should have just come of age. He seemed very unhappy about his arrival. The other party did not transform into a beast form. The only thing that Can pulled off is his hair. Then he was under the watchful eyes of everyone. What are the chances of plucking a few strands of the prince's hair? Few and far between. The sixth prince doesn't seem too coming towards him, that's all. After all, Ming Cang just now is guardian. Don't cause trouble for Ming Cang. The other princes seem quite enthusiastic. We'll see if we can take advantage of them later. Thoughts flash by in an instant. He tactfully nodded at the sixth prince. On the contrary, when the fifth prince eagerly came over to toast, he leaned over and whispered something to him. This made the fifth prince both excited and bashful. Zhang's tense face paled slightly in an instant. Is he just brushing him off? He didn't take a liking to him? How could any Femalwoes ever seen him not? No one wouldn't be tempted. Can't even stand his looks. What kind of guy cold he possibly like? The queen gave Garon a disappointed look. And he still pinches hopes on Gong. As the mother, he could sense that Gong must have had some unusual reaction towards Sunai. As an outstanding member of the royal family, the male actually missed out in the prestigious for seconds grade. Females like it. This beastly life is pretty much hopeless. No one noticed. While taking the chance to speak with the fifth prince, Sunai is holding it in his hand. There are already a few more battery visible strands of hair. Quickly placed I Tinto the space detector. cold and desolate. The guy is testing the hair of an unfamiliar mammal. Detected longevity ingredient 2%. The percentage value is too low. Not enough to unravel the secrets of longevity. Please keep searching. Sunai frowned slightly. The test results show no difference. It seems it's not a matter of bloodline. Suddenly, a large hand grasped mine. The banquet is about to begin. Let me show you to your seat. Sunai obediently let Ming Cang lead her away. He could sense it the moment he entered the banquet. Ming Cang developed an inexplicableness of possessiveness toward him. Maybe there are too many males here. Triggered the wolf's instinct to protect its food. You'll have plenty of men in the future. I have to get used to it. He looks like this. Like someone who's clearly angry, but still puts on a generous front and holds it in. But this kind of faint, almost imperceptible touch. For him, it was Knowles's than torture. The banquet is still going on. The center of the banquet hall. Several males are dancing with an extremely powerful vibe. This world is dominated by females. All the pleasing duties are taken over by the males. They know how prestigious the guest of honor at this banquet is. Throughout the dance, they kept shamelessly fawning over Sunai. Sunai was a bit embarrassed. And that male probably saw that she wasn't reacting. She actually had the audacity to touch and pull her hand onto his abs. Ming Cang, who had long since darkened his expression, shoved him away. That guy finally showed fear. Unwillingly, he looked at Sunai. Sunai averted his gaze to avoid the dancing male. He reluctantly retreated with great unwillingness. After a whole banquet, countless males have been cured. Ming Cang and he reached an unspoken understanding. As long as he dodges drinking, Ming Cang would help him fend off the attackers. A flirting male. Drinking till the very end. Sunai's little face was flushed red. Ming Cang worriedly pressed his hand. Dad's drunk. He scooped her up in his arms and carried her before the queen. Your Majesty, I apologize. Sunai drank too much. I have to take her back. The queen nodded. Encourage in a tone of someone who's been through it all. Go back and take good care of him. As a male who has been studying since childhood, Ming Cang naturally knew what the Empress was referring to. The face grew even hotter, yet there was no explanation. Just nodded slightly. Holding Sunai, he left. Sooner or later, it's Sunai's male. But of course, such a thing should never take advantage of someone's misfortune. On the way back in the car, filled with gifts from noble gentlemen, Sunai held on to Ming Cang tightly, unwilling to let go. In a daze, he heard Simeon calling his name. He casually turned to look in the direction of the sound, facing a face as stunning as a celestial being. That guy saw him staring blankly at him. It seems like I've already forgotten who he is. Sunai female. I am the sixth prince. Zhang buried his head in Ming Cang's neck and nuzzled against it. What's up? He actually doesn't know he came chasing after her. But the subconscious is just. I feel like we can't just let Sunai leave like this. If time could turn back, he would never badmouth Sunai. In front of Sunai's guardian, Ming Cang, he found it hard to speak his mind for a moment. Sixth prince, he's had too much to drink. You okay? Let's go ahead first. The comrade's tone of voice. It seems he's not just Sunai's guardian. It's like his father all over again. At this moment, Kang had to admit. He felt a bit jealous. He gritted his teeth and blocked their way. Unwilling to accept it, he stared intently at Sunai. Sunai female. You really don't like me at all? Sunai looked at them in confusion. It's so strange. Why I like you? Kang froze in shock. This was an answer hadn't anticipated. All along. He's always very popular with the ladies. Why would females like him? This was never something he would consider. He stood there dejectedly, rooted to the spot. In the car, Ming Cang cast a cold glance at the increasingly distant Jia. Unexpectedly, Sunai next to him started nuzzling his neck. He never really liked omegas. On the contrary, it would make her more eager to conquer the man's offer. The scent Ming Cang was giving off at this moment. It inexplicably made him somewhat excited. Suddenly, she opened her mouth and bit him. Ming Cang shuddered. The hot, damp pain on the neck. He was stunned and turned to look at Sunai. Her ears turned red in an instant. Sunai frowned. Turn him over. He opened his mouth and bit the back of his neck. What's going on? He curiously licked his wound with his tongue. Ming Cang suddenly clenched his fist. The affection in the eyes burnt silently like a raging fire. After searching for a while, Sunai finally came to his senses a bit. This is the world of ORCs. It's different from the world inside. He can't temporarily mark him. Sunai sat up in frustration, touched the bite mark on his neck. Does it hurt? No, it doesn't. The pain tolerance of orcs is exceptionally strong. Sunai then took a bite out of him like that. Although the skin is broken, but actually, it's just a feeling. Not only can't he feel any pain, it only made Heimvin more excited. His little famalican actually bite. At this very moment, the micro-ingredient detection system on the tip of the tongue. Amid the scent of blood, a sudden sound rang out. Detecting, testing complete. The current liquid is from an unknown mammalian creature. Blood test detects 5 longevity component. The percentage value is too low. Not enough to unravel the secrets of longevity. Please keep searching. Sunai's eyes lit up. The longevity ingredient shave increased by 3%. 9. Woke up a bit in an instant. So it turns out he was looking in the wrong direction for the test. He leaned closer to Ming Cang, staring straight at this still bleeding wound. He just went ahead and held it in his mouth. Bring more blood to the tip of the tongue. The test result is still 5%. Looks like the blood's longevity value. It has nothing to do with the amount of blood. He regretfully let it go. But the next second, his lips were already sealed by the man's. Open your eyes wide. Looking at this sudden arrival. Kissing her without any technique. Even some rough men. He's in heat again. Like an out-of-control beast. Every inch of him exudes possessiveness toward her. Just as Sunai was struggling over whether to give him a helping hand. Or should I risk exposing me strength and knock him out? Ming Cang seemed to regain a shred of rationality. Hold him tightly in your arms. Soon as Sunai held back his strength despite everything. Still, she nearly wanted to topple him into her very being. Sunai's hand blade was our dearies to the back of his head. A sudden shift into gentle strokes. Then release Sunai. Seeing his slightly swollen lips, Ming Cang looked like a big wolf dog that had done something wrong. Sorry, Sunai. Sunai knocked him on the head. Be gentler next time. After saying that, he got off the car on his own. And Ming Cang froze for a moment in the car. There's always next time. Joy instantly cleared in his heart. Sunai isn't angry at his offense. This shows that he likes him. Ming Cang returned home. The first thing I did was to clean myself up thoroughly. Turn into a beast with a gentle nature. Squeezing into Sunai's blanket. One day, he will definitely agree to let me be his father. This is his little woman. Sunai is obviously to it as well. There's a plush pillow this big on the bed. She hugged him very naturally. Wait until his breathing gradually becomes steady. The gray wolf still held by him opened its eyes. Turned into a grown man.